Hey guys, so I recently picked up this Traxxas Sledge from Tiny Adventures RC. So far I've been really happy with it. I've got a few packs through it now, and it's proving to be durable and fun. However, there's one glaring thing missing from this truck that I'd like to try and fix today. As you can see here, this truck does not come with a front bumper. That means that whenever you get in a big crash, the body will get pushed in and it's going to end up destroying it, and it just doesn't give any protection from the front. Well, today we're going to fix that using this bumper right here. Let me show you how we're going to do it. Before we get started with the install, we're going to need to buy a few things. The first thing is going to be this Traxxas 6835 front bumper. This is for a Traxxas Slash. Next thing we're going to need is some longer screws. Now I've got some M3 by 30 screws here with some washers on them that'll go through the front. These washers will help take up the missing space for the larger holes that are in the bumper. Then I've got some M4 by 20 screws here. These are button head screws. I've got these for testing. I don't have the right length flathead screws, so I'm going to be using these. You probably don't want to use button head screws though, because the button heads are going to get worn off pretty quickly. So I would suggest using flathead screws. Now, be careful what length you choose here. If you go too long, they're going to end up blowing into the differential housing and jamming up the ring gear. Ask me how I know. Now we're only going to be using this main bumper here. We won't be using that bracket that comes with it, and we're only going to be using the front part of it. So you'll want to go ahead and cut this back part off right here in front of where it thickens up. Once you got your bumper cut off here and you got your screws, we're going to go ahead and prep the truck and then get this mounted. So what we need to do next here is take these two screws out of the bottom of the front here, and then the two screws out of the front here. So now that we have those out, we're going to need to mark where these back screws are going to go in for the new front bumper, but that's kind of hard to do with the bumper on, so I'm going to show you a trick to doing that. Get yourself a couple pieces of tape. I like to use this blue masking tape. Put them over everything like this. Now make sure they're stuck down really well in the back, and then just kind of run your fingers over where the screw holes are, like so. Then we can just peel these back, not peeling the back all the way. Now we're going to mount up the front bumper temporarily using the front two screws. All right, once that's mounted, we can then lay the tape back over, and then we can see where the two marks were for the screws. It's kind of hard to see in the camera, but I can see it in person really well. Just take something sharp. I've got this broken screwdriver here, and just make a mark right in the center of those holes. Kind of push through the tape, and then I'll make a mark on the bumper. Now peel the tape back, and we've got our two holes marked. Now I'm going to go ahead and drill these, and then we'll get it screwed in. All right, well, that's the bumper all mounted up. I would suggest you use flathead screws, like I said, not these button head screws, because these are going to get worn down pretty quickly. But other than that, it feels pretty solid in there. Now before we take this out and bash it, if you guys are enjoying this video, I would really appreciate a subscribe. You subscribing lets me know that I'm doing the right thing and encourages me to keep making videos like this for you guys, so I really appreciate it. All right, let's get this thing out and bash it and see how durable it is. Well, there we go. After a couple of packs of hard bashing with this bumper on here, including quite a few intentional crashes right on the nose, bumper doesn't really look any worse for the wear. The body did push in over its little pseudo bumper behind it a couple of times, but nothing like the cave-ins it was doing before. Underneath, you can see the button head screws are getting a little bit worn, but they're actually holding up better than I thought they would. Other than that, everything looks great. Now, I wanted to mention that this is not my original idea. I saw someone else do this on Facebook, but I thought it would be good to make a video of it and show you guys the installation process and then do some testing and see how it held up. So far, I'm really impressed with it. I think this is probably the best upgrade you can do to this truck right now. All right, guys, I really appreciate you watching. If you enjoyed it, please like and subscribe. If you have any questions or comments, throw them down in the comments, and we'll see you in the next one.